Hey all, hey y'all. My name is Ashley-Nicole Phillips, and you are tuned in to either Kingdom Things Podcast with Ashley-Nicole Phillips or Oneness Connection Energetic Upliftment on Spotify. On YouTube. Oneness Connection Energetic Upliftment is available to stream for free on YouTube, while Kingdom Things Podcast with Ashley-Nicole Phillips is available to stream for free on YouTube as well as Spotify. This is going to be a Kingdom Things Podcast with Ashley-Nicole Phillips bonus episode that'll come out the Thursday of the week of let me look at the calendar. Let me see what day it's going to come out. It's going to be a Kingdom Things Podcast with Ashley-Nicole Phillips bonus episode. We get new episodes on Mondays unless otherwise stated within the Kingdom Things Podcast with Ashley-Nicole Phillips community. This will be a new podcast on August 14th. New installment, new transmission for Kingdom Things Podcast with Ashley-Nicole Phillips. A bonus transmission on August 14th. We'll get one on Monday as well. This will be a brand new transmission for Oneness Connection Energetic Upliftment. Actually, August, scratch that, run it back. Rewinding it. This will be a new transmission August 28th. For Kingdom Things Podcast with Ashley-Nicole Phillips. It'll be a brand new bonus transmission August 28th. For Oneness Connection Energetic Upliftment, it'll be a brand new transmission Wednesday the 27th. So I've been, my name is Ashley-Nicole Phillips. I am the biblically prophesied Messiah. The Jewish culture widely awaited Mashiach. The Hindu culture prophesied Kalki. Full circle moment, alert, alert. So are you. Why Ashley? What I have in me, you have in you. What you have in you, I have in me. We are all authentic frequential patternings, limitless potentials with the illusion of form or finite dimensionality. Having a human experience in order to uplift and evolve humanism, simultaneously uplifting and evolving all of divine creation, all of infinite creation, all of limitless potentials. Most commonly termed Allah, God, Hashem, Shekinah, the Most High, Prime Source, Brahman within our dimension of creation, dimension of reality. Within Oneness Connection Energetic Upliftment, we have powwow sessions. We come through our inner space. We look at paradigms that the universal forces, ancestral forces, divine forces want us to look at within our humanism through the inner space, through our energy, through our DNA, through our genome. And we channel energies and messages. I channel energies and messages from ancestral forces, universal forces. Universal ancestral forces are truly one. Us, ancestral universal forces are truly one. Transcendentally channel, as well as every time I'm speaking within my transmissions. Every time we speak, period, it's a channel. But every time I'm speaking, my soul is moving through me to share wisdoms, wellness, energies of wisdom and wellness. Do not replace your professional medical advice with anything you experience or hear within Oneness Connection Energetic Upliftment, nor Kingdom Things Podcast with Ashley-Nicole Phillips. I use my shaman mama capabilities, my mediumship capabilities, my soul gifts, my connection to the oneness of all things, my channeling abilities to channel universal wisdoms, forces, beings, entities, ancestral forces to assist us and act as a resource. The Oneness Connection Energetic Upliftment catalog is timeless. The Kingdom Things Podcast with Ashley-Nicole Phillips catalog is timeless. All transcendentally and beyond channeled wisdoms and energies, catalog of wisdoms and energies to assist, uplifting wisdoms and energies to assist us, humanity, and every other being whom comes in contact with the catalogs, to assist us as we awaken into greater conscious awareness of our connection with all things, greater conscious awareness of the limitless potentials in which we are. We're going to go ahead and roll into the Kingdom Things Podcast 2033 Prophecy. By the year 2033, the Divine, the Most High, Hashem, Shekinah, Prime Source, Allah, Brahman, the oneness of all things, says we will be in a state of consciousness evolution to understand that we are human culture, planet Earth, with no death, no disease, no war, no famine, world peace, no poverty, no pedophilia, no sex trafficking, no human trafficking. As death, disease, war, famine, poverty, pedophilia, sex trafficking, human trafficking, all of these things were part of the makings of us. My soul, the oneness of all things, likes to refer to this. It's an analogy as our gestational phase, where we were seemingly calcified in a throng of dense vibrational frequential patternings or energies that we embodied, we moved through, we moved as. that said that we were less than limitless potentials, that said that we were disconnected from the vastness of all things, that fed us limiting beliefs, the belief that we are finite, dispensable, that we decay, instead of being in high vibrational frequential patternings, which reminded us, gave us bouts of satori, spontaneous spiritual awakenings, or soul remembrances of our divine creation, of our divine connection with all things, of the wisdoms in which we are, that perpetuates wellness and happiness and health and balance and greater conscious awareness of the universal force in which we are, greater conscious evolution into more conscious awareness of the universal force omnipresence in which we are. When we were in the dense song of energies, we co-created death, disease, war, famine, poverty, pedophilia, sex trafficking, human trafficking. By 2033, and the masses will be in the high vibration. We're here. But it takes time. Evolution, growth. Evolution takes time. I'm actually a singer-songwriter. In my song, Tender Abundance, I channeled this. Because I was feeling subdued. And my soul spoke to me and through me, because I remember that I'm so much more. And then I moved through our reality. And at times our reality doesn't reflect the more in which we know that we are. Whatever the more is for you, whatever the more is for your neighbor, whatever the more is for me. Sometimes this tangible reality doesn't reflect the more that we innately know that we are. My music, Ashley-Nicole music, is available to stream on YouTube. It's linked below. My song, Tender Abundance. So healing, feeling like heartburn. Divine connection stays there. Evolution takes time. Yeah. When I wanna wake up and fly. Yeah. Been in vibrations with my mind. Being like water, exploring the different vibrations and shapes I find. Tender abundance, soft whispers, channel straight from the heart to elevate presets. This is that universal reset, something like a remix. This is that universal reset, something like a remix. My soul channel, all my music is my soul speaking to me, giving me wisdoms, answering the questions that I have, sharing with me energies of my future self, or humanity's future self. Words that feed the DNA and cells and the vibrational frequential patterns that we are, and to evolution to our future selves. More wellness, more balance, heightened conscious awareness human beings. My soul, I said, sometimes I feel like I want to wake up and fly. My soul says, evolution takes time. Even when you want to wake up and fly, evolution takes time. So we are here in the higher vibrational self, the higher vibrational realm. It just takes time to syncopate everything together, which allows us to live a sequential reality, a life, right? 2033 will be in the conscious awareness. Our mind, body, soul, spirit will be caught up in the masses. So remembrance that we are human culture, planet Earth, with no death, no disease, no war, no famine, world peace, no poverty, no pedophilia, no sex trafficking, no human trafficking. Which just brings us, we'll go ahead and roll into the human dharmic purpose. It's biblical, it's prophecy. We were created to wake up and remember that we are limitless potentials and intangible, or limitless infinite potentials with the illusion of form, finite dimensionality. The divine wants to see, what do we create in our realms, on our planets soon to come. Conscious awareness that we've been an interdimensional species, a species that's colonized on many planets. As our ancestral forces, Teotihuacan, Mayans, just to name a couple, that have transcended this reality in the way that they've colonized on other planets, Venus, Mars, to name a few. The divine wants to see what else do we create. We know no death, no disease, no war, no ephemeral peace, no pedophilia, no sex trafficking, no human trafficking, interplanetary colonization for our species, our generation of ascended humans. This is another prophecy that'll be a part of the 2033 prophecy, our interplanetary colonization as our ascending generation of the human species. The divine wants to see what else do we create. We get to drop into our heart spaces, convene with our soul spaces, and ask our soul, hey, what are we coming here to create on an omnipotent, limitless, benevolent, uplifting potentials level? As universally aligned, universally assigned for the upliftment and regeneration of all things, what do we come here to create? This brings me to the Oneness Connection Energetic Upliftment plus Kingdom Things podcast with Ashley-Nicole Phillips. Call to action. Sit with yourself every day for at least 2 hours a day. However you want to do it, 1 hour in the morning, 1 hour at night, however you want to do it. Sit with yourself for the 2 hours a day and ask yourself, hey soul, what is it that I need to know to come into greater conscious awareness, greater conscious embodiment of my limitless potentials? Wait for the answers because they will present themselves, they will come. Your lingo with the universe is, or the oneness of all things, the galaxies, omnipresence, or yourself is most likely unique to you, meaning the clear senses, widely known mediumship abilities, channeling abilities. Your extrasensory perception may be something more like synesthesia, where there's no explanation, there's no rhyme or reason, you just understand it. Validate yourself in your knowings. And don't be afraid to reach out and reach out for any additional assistance you feel like you need through your process of awakening to the remembrance that you're limitless. We've only always been limitless. The time where we perceived ourselves as finite was a gestational phase, where we had alpha and omega dimensions of ourselves, species of ourselves, generations of ourselves that have superseded what we thought we were capable of being within our gestational phase. We had generations of ourselves that came before us and came after us. As time is relative, what makes a before and after? The understandings, precepts, vibrational frequential patternings, or conscious awareness of who we believe we are. I'm super excited, y'all. We got the call to action, human dharmic purpose, 2033 prophecy. We're channeling a bevy of universal forces / ancestral forces. The universal forces, ancestral forces are one. We are all one. We're universal forces manifested as authentic frequential patternings, or whatever your name is. My name is Ashley. My authentic frequential patterning would be Ashley. However, I show up in every moment. That's my authentic frequential patterning, my authentic offering to the oneness of all things, of the universes. Because your frequency, your energy, it's accumulation of the oneness of all things. And whoever you believe yourself to be in your every moment is the embodiment of your authentic frequential patterning, emanates the energy of your authentic frequential patterning, which assists with the evolution and growth of all things. So these ancestral forces are one with the universal forces omnipresence. You are one with universal forces omnipresence. I am one with universal forces omnipresence. Our neighbors are one with universal forces omnipresence. The person we walk by in the grocery store, they're one with universal forces omnipresence. Irregardless of who we think we are in every moment, our state of conscious awareness of ourselves, irregardless of how our conscious awareness is at any moment, we're always only universal forces, limitless potentials. And where we are in our conscious awareness of who we believe we are is a part of our evolutionary growth, our offering to the evolution of all things. Because whoever we believe we are in any moment creates our authentic frequential patterning frequency, which permeates, emanates into existence, to creation, the oneness of all things, which assists with shifting, growing, manifesting, more evolution for the oneness of all things. That is the oneness of all things. So earlier, scrolling on my YouTube feed, I came across this video on Martians, beings from Mars, and I was like, "Whoa!" I've consciously communicated. I was conscious. Like I knew I was communicating telepathically, energetically, communicating with beings from Mars. Which space and time, which dimensionality, I'm not sure. I say that to say, I was scrolling on YouTube and there was a video of beings from Mars, and I clicked on it and I started listening to it, and it was telling the history of Mars and Martians and beings and the stories of the galactic stories of beings of Mars. And it was sharing the stories of planet, like it was like the video was sharing the story about, you know, in the future, beings, humans of planet Earth will colonize on Mars. It was like prophecy foreseeing the future, like we will colonize on Mars. And it was saying how we're gonna miss, it was kind of like a depressive, melancholy story. Like we weren't gonna be abundantly happy, wellness and joy about it, living on Mars. And I was like, I asked myself in my inner space, I was like, why do we read the stories this way? And then the Martians came in, and we started telepathically communicating. And really, I want to say, Spirit posed this question in my inner space, so that I could have the dialogue. In my inner space, I perceived, like, why do we read the stories like this, like depressing, all the things. It's like we're gonna be on Mars, but we're not gonna be, you know, we're gonna be melancholy about it, and not so happy, all the things. I was like, why do we read the stories like this? We were created to be abundant and happy. We're limitless. All we have to do is choose happy thoughts. Of course, everything we experience in our evolution is a part of the makings of us, you know. And all we have to do is not, you know, that's not so compassionate. You know, we're coming out of dense energies where we had feedback loops in our synaptical processing system, or our brains. We had feedback loops that whenever we felt energies, we would just cycle through depressing, low vibrational thoughts, which will manifest low vibrational, depressing realities. Shall we supersede this, and so shall it be. Amen. I perceived this earlier. It's like, you know, when you have those internal dialogues, I was perceiving this earlier, and I was working through it. I was like, ooh, I don't want to think that. It was like an internal dialogue, you know, it was feeding me like a storyline. And I used to play along with these storylines before. It was feeding me a storyline of jealousy, anger, depression, resentment, all the things. It was like feeding me the storyline. And I was like, hold on, I don't want to think this. I don't want to create this. And my soul said, bingo, you got it. So I don't want to think, I don't want to create this. My soul said, yep. Think transcended. We transcended this. Whenever you perceive a thought in your inner space, it's like, hey, I don't want to live a life that reflects this energy, this thought pattern. All you have to do is drop it to your heart and say, hey. We're being compassionate with ourselves, but, you know, drop it to your heart and say, hey, I don't want to think this. Why am I thinking this, soul? What is it supposed to teach me about myself? To create a reality that reflects, to rise the vibration of our thought patterns, feed more well and abundant thought patterns, to manifest a reality that creates more well and balanced thought patterns. Which got me, so that was earlier this morning today, and I watched the video on the Martians, and I communicated with the Martians a little bit later, a few minutes later in the day. And they were like, oh, they said, can we speak? I said, yes. They want me to transcendentally channel them. This is great. I'll transcendentally channel them. I'm going to sit back and close my eyes and channel the Martians of futures past. They're like, call us the Martians of futures past, because technically we're from your past. We're ancient Martian beings. An ancient Martian civilization race that actually stems from beings of planet Earth, humans of planet Earth humans of planet Earth that colonized on Mars trillions of years ago, as we would perceive it. So like technically we're from the past, but we're also from the future, because our conscious awareness of ourselves supersedes how y'all perceive humanity, how you perceive yourself in this moment. But they're like, we perceive and we know y'all are trajected, and y'all are going through a mass spiritual awakening and catalyzation of your conscious awareness, to where y'all's conscious awareness, when y'all awaken, is actually going to supersede our conscious awareness of who we are a bit. So how we perceive each other is yet to be perceived, yet to be seen, yet to be created. How the marches of our futures past, and how future humans, 2033 humans with a heightened conscious awareness, 2050 humans with a heightened conscious awareness, how we're going to perceive the Martians of our future's past, or ourselves from the future, but from our past simultaneously, because they're trillions of years old. The cycle of creation, we're experiencing full circle moments of our beingness that we hadn't for a couple of thousand years, because we were in that gestational phase. So now we're raising in vibrational frequential patterning, where we're not only reading or perceiving future versions of ourselves at greater heightened awareness, but we're actually living it in our tangible reality, because it's time to. Our phase when we were in our gestational dimensions of ourselves, where we thought we were less than infinite potentials, it was a part of a master plan to prepare us to be limitless potentials in the tangible. I'm going to sit back and close my eyes, and we're going to channel the Martians of the futures of our futures past. Thank you, Ashley, for allowing us to be a part of your transmission. So not randomly, but with little preparation, as we asked to be a part of this transmission. When we perceived that Ashley would be doing a transmission this evening, after we spoke to her this morning in regards to our association with this generation of humanity. We are Martians. We're also humans of planet Earth. As we stem from planet Earth, we would like to say we're dual citizens of the cosmos. We also reside on many other planets within the solar system, within the galaxy. Not the universe yet, Ashley. We're still within galactic co-creation when it comes to our reach, our evolution as a species. We wanted to share this remembrance, to be a part of an uplifting force, a force of, I have gratitude. We have gratitude as well, Ashley. An uplifting force for optimism when it comes to the evolution of the human being of planet Earth, to no longer read your stories of your past or your future as one of desecration, as one of desolate beingness, as one with no high purpose, as one with no purpose. Everything you've experienced was to evolve you into more. Thank you, Ashley. Ooh. Thank you, Martians of the futures past. I perceived an energy which would have been subconscious before I was so consciously aware of myself, that was trying to, like, that's enough, that's it, that's enough, don't channel anymore. And I perceived it before, and I asked myself, I said, what is that? What is that voice trying to stop the channeling? Like, that's enough, no more, that's it, that's. And the energy said, common effing sense. Common sense, or stark synaptical loops of our old patterns or ways of doing things, our old paradigms of who we believed we were. Those thought patterns that we called common sense were aligned with energies of the stark dissonance, vibrational dissonance from the frequency of our limitless potentials. Let's raise this energy and vibration, our common sense. Let's raise it in vibration to align more with our limitless sense, our limitless possibilities, our vibrations and frequencies of wellness and abundance as universally aligned, universally assigned for the upliftment and regeneration of all things, and so it shall be. Amen, Ashe, Mashallah, Inshallah, Bismillah, Bismillah, Shalom, Amen. I don't want to war and fight with myself, because I know this energy and vibration, this is inside of myself. This is one with me. Before I would get upset and fight with myself. And that's where we get psychic attacks. Whenever we perceive anything in our inner space, it's a dimension of ourselves. We can stop and ask about it, ask our soul about it. Hey, this is this and that, this, that, and this and that. And understanding that anything that you perceive outside of yourself, it's truly one with yourself. That's the only way that energy that's outside of you can connect with you, can link up with you, can covalently bond with you, because you have that matching energy within you. That energy that's coming towards you, you have a matching energy within you, which allows you to connect with whatever you perceive is coming from outside of you. How do we be the wellness? How do we be the change? By accepting principle correspondence, as below, so above. Everything in my reality is only a mirror of the energies in which I am. No exception. Take accountability and heal these energies from our inner space to be the wellness, to be the vibrational, frequential emanation of the remedy, to uplift all things. And so it shall be. Thank you, Martians of the future, our futures past. Now, today was supposed to be a transmission, Kingdom Things podcast transmission with Ram Dass, an American spiritual teacher and guru. He recently transcended December 22nd, 2019. He was born April 6th, 1931, Boston, Massachusetts. Transcended December 22nd, 2019, Maui, Hawaii. Over the last few years, I've been rapidly expanding my consciousness and growing spiritually, emotionally, mentally, physically, as universally aligned, universally assigned for the upliftment and regeneration of all things, and so it is. And Ram Dass came across my path, and I truly enjoy the energy that is Ram Dass. I truly enjoy his teachings, and I truly enjoy how he utilizes comedy and a relatable disposition to share his wisdoms, his teachings, his knowledge. We're going to go ahead and roll in and channel Ram Dass. He came to me in the spirit. He just told me before we started transmission, he's like, no, because I'm looking at this picture on my computer, and I could perceive his energy. And I could perceive, even when he was here as a guru, American spiritual teacher and guru, he was still operating on a program or frequential patterning that was despondent to universal wisdoms, universal vibrations, universal energies, or the one activation into oneness consciousness. And I respect him, and I honor him, and I appreciate his presence throughout the last 3 years. We would call it sycophant disposition, where I have an emotional attachment, so I didn't want to offend him. I'm looking at his picture, and he could tell, he could feel my energy stirring. He's like, no, Ashley, read me, help me heal. He's like, no, you can be truthful. What are you reading? What are you feeling? I was like, your energy was less than universal awakening, universal consciousness alignment and activation. As great as our spiritual teachers and gurus are, it's understanding that our connection within our inner spaces, with the oneness of all things to our inner spaces, will always only be our greatest teacher. Always and only. We can honor and respect gurus and spiritual teachers on our plane, but understanding our own connection with the oneness of all things, or universal forces, or our omnipresence, through our heart space, through our energy, through ourselves, through our beingness, is our greatest teacher. He was like, no, Ashley, you can be honest. You can help me heal. I was like, and I just said it right now. It's like, thank you. I'm going to close my eyes, and we're going to transcendentally channel Ram Dass. Thank you, Ashley, for having me here. Thank you for having me here. Let's both breathe. Let's both breathe. Let's both breathe. Ashley enjoys my comedy, as do I enjoy hers. I want to plug her. Go ahead and plug it, Ashley. Goddess Talk Comedy Edition with Ashley-Nicole Phillips is available to channel within the Kingdom Things podcast transmission catalog, where she utilizes her wisdoms, her connection with all things, her connection with oneness, the prosperity of divine evolution, to turn her wisdoms that are heavy in the way that they're intended to uplift energies and forces from our calcified state, an inundation of universal energies that are delivered with laughs, intended to be delivered with laughs. Ashley is helping me heal. Instead of judging myself, herself, as we are one. There are thought patterns that are a part of us, humanity, that demonize the makings of us, our evolution, our dense vibrations. These dense vibrations are the makings of us. Allowing ourselves to accept ourselves in order to garner the wisdoms from the dense vibrations or the darkness or the makings of us. Thank you, Ashley. Thank you, Ramdas. Thank you, Ramdas. Thank you, Ramdas. Thank you, Ramdas. Thank you, Ashley. I'm like, I don't want Ramdas to go. And the spirit's like, why, Ashley? Take a beat. Understand this. Why? Our dense vibrational frequential patternings, we called it passion. And when this dense vibrational frequential patterning human being magnetizes and attaches or meets the force that is this dense vibrational frequential patterning being, we called it love. We acted as magnets where we couldn't part from one another. My soul's been teaching me astutely, hey Ashley, you are only always one with all things and all beings. Learn to love without the fear. Learn to love without the fear of losing love. This fear of losing love are the energies and dense vibrations that say that you're less than love, or less than the oneness of all things, or less than the connection that is the oneness of all things. When we allow ourselves to remember this and relax into love, we become open to higher vibrational frequential patternings, higher vibrational wisdoms, thought patterns, which leads to higher vibrational actions, outcomes, manifestations of self, as well as reality, tangible reality. I'm going to link below a Kingdom Things podcast installment. It's titled Relax into Love. It'll be in the reference content section in the description of these transmissions. Thank you, Ramdas. Thank you. Thank you. I would feel guilty before. Like I feel a little guilt in my loins. I feel a little guilt in my body about parting with Ramdas. It's like I feel guilty. It's like that's that energy. The dense energies, vibrations that we're uplifting. Acknowledge it, accept it, and uplift it. Before we would call this like a mother-father wound. It's a mother-father wound. As much as we love our mothers and fathers, understanding our true mother and father is ourself, or the oneness in which we are. The yin-yang balance, the universal connection with all things is our true mother and father from our inner space. The mother-father wound believing that we're separate from anything in our reality or any abundance, wellness, separate from anything. Which creates attachment to people, places, and things to feel grounded, to feel certain. Relax into Love, which is a Kingdom Things podcast installment. So it's one of the earlier transmissions in the Kingdom Things podcast catalog. Great nonetheless. Relax into Love is available, linked below in the description of these transmissions. Thank you, Ramdas. Thank you, Ramdas. Thank you, Ramdas. The next part we're gonna roll into. He said the energy of the force says he'll speak for itself. Baal. 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 Yes. Yes. He says he'll speak for himself. I'm reading from Google. I was like, I didn't know this. He's like, I didn't want you to know it, Ashley. I didn't want you to know it yet. Whoa, cool. Yes. Oh, wow. Okay. Okay. Okay, he's like, go ahead and speak. Ashley, you didn't connect the dots and stuff before I asked you to connect the dots. So I'm reading from a search engine. Baal is a figure from ancient Middle Eastern mythology, primarily associated with storms, fertility, and agriculture. Now, I channeled about Baal before with Rabbi Yeshua, and I'll link it below, or Jesus Christ. I'll link it below. We did a sermon together. It's called Redemption Part 1, Kingdom Things Podcast, Redemption Part 1. I'll link this transmission below in the reference content. Rabbi Yeshua and myself, we did a sermon together. I opened and he closed the sermon. And whenever I do transmissions, I'm guided to, the divine's like, wherever you are in any moment, that's where I need you to be to co-create these transmissions the way the universes want, or I want you to co-create them to be offerings to humanity's evolution. So at the time, what did I know about Baal? I knew he was like from the Hebrew, like a Hebrew deity. And I knew that like the Israelites would I'm being guided to say, instead of like they would exchange gods. I don't know how true this is. I'm being guided to say Yahweh. Instead of Yahweh, they would go from worshiping Yahweh to worshiping Baal. They would worship whichever God force energy was baby feeding them or giving them what they wanted. They would go back and forth. And Rabbi Yeshua called Baal local God. Now, Rabbi Yeshua did not reference Yahweh. He said there was local God, Baal, and then there's universal presence. Yahweh is coming up right now, and I got it, baby. I'm just channeling Yahweh. And I need to put some dots together. Okay. Yahweh was an ancient Semitic deity of weather and war in the ancient Levant. The national god of kingdoms of Judah and Israel, and the head of the pantheon of the polytheistic Israelite religion. Ooh, that's really powerful. Because I'm really channeling all of this. It's so powerful. Ooh, baby, real time. I was like, now I've been made consciously aware of Yahweh before. But there's so many stories and so many depictions and so many dimensions of everything. So when I'll read on 2-3 years ago, I'll come back and be guided to the same deity, the same God, the same universal force 2-3 years later, and I'll get I'm at a different dimension, getting whole different perspectives of what it is this God or deity is, or who they were, who they are. So the Israelites would trade between worshiping Baal and Yahweh, all depending on, are they getting what they need? Their food, their shelter, whatever they're asking for through prayer. Are they receiving it? And they would go back and forth worshiping different gods, depending on Yahweh or Baal, depending on what they're getting. And Rabbi Yeshua told this story. Shared this with me, because when I came, I was sitting in the cafe all day at Ziggy's. at the cafe all day, and I was drinking, you know, had my beverage, my coffee beverage, and I was sitting in the coffee shop divinating. I was just looking up whatever my soul asked me to look up, and I started having a conversation with Rabbi Yeshua, or Jesus Christ, and he was telling me how much, you know, he wanted to set the record straight as far as him and Mary Magdalene. He was like, that's my wife, that's my divine counterpart, that's my high priestess, that's one of my disciples, I'm one of her disciples. We had 3 kids, I love her, like all the things. And when I was walking back, I walked to Ziggy's. When I was walking back to the house from Ziggy's, I was having an intimate communion with Rabbi Yeshua. He was like, Ashley, I do not like what my name was turned into. He's like, now I know that there's a bigger story, a bigger plan beyond in regards to everything that happens. There's a bigger plan behind it. So he's like, I'm making peace with myself. I made peace with myself. And we channeled Kingdom Things Podcast Redemption Part 1 that same day when I got back from Ziggy's. Took a shower, did the transmission. Now at that time I looked at Bayal, and he was demonized. Like a demon energy force. Demonized. And then I've been doing healing over the past 3-4 years, but over the past couple of days, I knew I was going to be channeling Bayal today. And I was doing healing over the last couple of weeks, uplifting the vibrations of our matrix, or of our humanity. So of our reality, how we perceive ourselves, expanding the conscious awareness of how we perceive ourselves as human being of this gestational ascension cycle of divine creation, of humanism, of planet Earth, of the galaxies, of the galactic creation. It was like, hey, Ashley, the energies of y'all's matrix, or the energies y'all were moving through, the gestational phase energies, we're going to call those Bayal energies, or local energies. Energies that were created by perpetuating energies and thought patterns that were only concerned with our day-to-day needs and desires, and not concerned with who we were created to be on a universal level, on an omnipotent level, on a goddess level. Who did, on an existential nature, who did humanity come into creation? Who did we come into creation to be? We weren't too much focused on that. We focused on our day-to-day basis, day-to-day needs, day-to-day wants, day-to-day desires, which perpetuated a human evolution that got calcified, a human creation matrix that got calcified with energies, vibrational, a dense, energetic, vibrational thong of energies out of alignment, dissonance to conscious awareness of universal orchestration, our interdimensional existence, our divine creation existence, our limitless potentials, presence, existence, the truth that we are limitless, and we come into form to experience infinite different dimensions of our existence in different ways. This experience of being a human being of planet Earth is one of infinite experiences to have within divine creation. We are limitless energies. We come into form as human beings of planet Earth. And the way we're birthed into this reality is a part of our stories. Being in the womb, the sperm and the egg coming together to be a seed in the womb, to be birthed out of our mother's vaginas. That's a part of an optical presentation of our creation. Because I asked this question, I was like, so we're limitless and we come into divine, like what's giving birth and all that? It's like, it's a part of the optical experience. That's a dimension of understanding of your existence. It's not the beginning or the end of your truth. Ashley, humanity. The truth is your limitless potentials, and the way that you form in your mother's wombs, your father's testicles, and to be delivered into your mother's womb and co-created in your mother's womb. It's a part of the story, optical presentation of your existence, and not a stark, one-dimensional truth paradigm. We are light. And the way that we manifest into this reality is manyfold, plentyfold. I spoke about it in the Kingdom Things Podcast installment, which will be out in a few months, about the immersion experience. I'll speak about it lightly here, generally here, being in another dimension of creational reality. Experiencing as another species of galactic being on another planet, in another realm of reality, and choosing to incarnate on another planet within another realm of reality. And doing so by being immersed in immersed into the experience of being a human being of planet Earth, from being an Arcturian of Arcturus, being immersed into being a human being of planet Earth, to an experience that's likened to what we would see in the Avatar, the movie The Avatar, where the Arcturian, or the being that's outside of the realm of being a human being of planet Earth, will be put into a slumbered state, in a slumber state, in a technology that regenerates the vessel, so the vessel doesn't decay, and the consciousness is multiplied or fragmented off to be delivered, the energy of the consciousness to be delivered energetically as a spirit, as a soul, dimension of a spirit of a soul, as a human being of planet Earth. When the egg hits the sperm within the womb, or the vaginal wall, there is like an explosion, like a big bang of energy. And that at that point, before and beyond, energy is acclimated to the gestation of that human being, to create the evolution of the human being from an embryo to a baby in the womb, to a human being being birthed from day 0 to day or year 7,000. Because we're getting into this energy where we live a long eons, trillions of years, infinitely, all the things. 7,000 years is like 70 years old in other dimensions. That big bang experience within the womb is a fraction of the energy that's going to evolve into the being at whatever day of its gestational phase in the womb, as well as its incarnation in the realm or on the planet. What does that mean, Ashley? We're always only recapturing different dimensions of our limitless potentials, or evolving or shedding other dimensions of our limitless potentials to grow and evolve into our authentic frequential patterning, or who we were created to be in every moment of our evolution, of our growth. Divine revelation alert. That was a divine revelation. Whoa. Whoa. So these Baal energies that we've been one with, that we've been syncopated with, dense energies, truly trillions of years old, truly still our magical galactic divine presence, resonating at a dense frequency that didn't resemble magic, that didn't resemble limitless potentials. These energies are now raising in vibrations. We are now raising in vibrations to be able to perceive a shining light on the darkness, to be able to perceive the magic that has always been the darkness. It's just been in a phase of gestation where everything we were experiencing in the darkness, or the illusion of separation from infinite potentials or limitless potentials, was a part of the makings of us, evolving the energies of the oneness of all things, to manifest and create this point in time, this accumulation point, where we are becoming consciously aware that we are limitless potentials and intangible. We're becoming consciously aware that we're galactic beings of trillions, infinite galactic species in many dimensions, infinite dimensions, spread out across infinite universes, no beginning, no end. And whoever we become, whoever we meet, is all a part of the evolutions of our species, of ourselves, of our humanism, to assist with the evolution of divine creation or all things. Beautiful. Beautiful. Whoa. We're going to go ahead and channel Baal. I'm going to sit back and close my eyes. And after Baal, we're going to channel the African spiritual universal creator gods. Thank you, Baal. Thank you, African spiritual universal creator gods. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, Ashley, for having me, being brave enough to accept yourself in a way that you could grow and evolve from channeling redemption to where you perceive me as demonic, to channeling me now, channeling my energy force now, where you receive and perceive in me as a dimension of yourself, one with universal presence, one with limitless potentials, one with wellness, abundance, one with universal alignment. Thank you, Ashley. Divine revelation, divine remembrance. I want to be careful the way I speak this. I was like, dang, Bayal is just like Rabbi Yeshua. Like Rabbi Yeshua and Bayal have 0 degrees of separation. Rabbi Yeshua and Ramdas and Bayal have 0 degrees of separation. Myself, yourself, Rabbi Yeshua, Bayal, Ramdas have 0 degrees of separation. What are you saying, Ashley? Whenever there's a deity or God we perceive in any dimension of creation that's been worshipped, that's been gone to and seeked out as the answer, prayed to receive from that God or dimension of creation, everything is always only an evolution. But that God or dimension of creation in which we prayed to or gave our power away to, forgot that we were limitless potentials and went to a being or a deity seemingly outside of ourselves. The galactic creation is an iota of divine creation. It's a dimension of infinite dimensions in divine creation. Now I'm going to link below Kingdom Things podcast installment titled Humans Ashamed of Being Human plus Galactic Creation. Oh, shoot. I'm like, dang. Because I don't want to offend any energy. Because I don't want to offend myself. Right? I don't want to demonize any energies. I don't want to demonize myself. I have an understanding that I garnered through my work, the work that I do consciously throughout the multiverse, throughout God's creation to help uplift the human being. Galactic creation, all of galactic creation was operating out of a dimension of herself, meaning we have infinite spaces to grow. Even the most heightened conscious awareness, wisdom being like the Arcturian, they were still only operating at a fraction of themselves, which means they have boundless dimensions of evolution to perceive, to embody, to be. And I channeled, I'll link below The Origins of the Divine Human Are Now. These are Kingdom Things podcast installments. The Origins of the Divine Human Are Now, as well as a World Healing Powwow session I did with Mother Mary, Rabbi Yeshua, Tahuti, Moses. Forgive me if I'm forgetting any ancestral force. But we did a live powwow session. And I'm getting choked up a bit because Spirit's like, humanity, y'all gonna be all right. Y'all gonna be great because y'all are getting it. Y'all are getting it. So the Origins of the Divine Human Are Now, plus the Healing Home Powwow session, World Powwow session. Because I'm getting all these divine revelations and things, and I peek out into the human consciousness. I'm looking at the gestational energy still, because there's also awakening. And I know I'm awakening a little bit ahead of the curve. I channeled in Kingdom Things podcast titled 144 Part 1. I'll link it below. And I'll link 144 Part 2 below as well. The divine is like, Ashley, you're the leading energy of the 144,000. You and your divine counterpart, you're the leading energy of the 144,000, which means I need y'all to activate into heightened conscious awareness a little bit above the masses, to magnify the masses, to heighten conscious awareness, evolutionary phases of the human evolutionary existence. So I'm looking out into the human energy, and I don't perceive that we have it. I can perceive, like in this, I can perceive in this moment that I was able to read these energies, and I could channel these energies and understanding to my heart space. And then spirit is like I'm getting choked up with spirits, like, hey, like humans, y'all got it, y'all gonna be more than all right. And I looked into the energy, and I didn't perceive what I perceived in this moment through my heart space. And the soul spirit is like, that's why we had you say what you said earlier. Sing your song, Tender Abundance. The evolution takes time. Say, remember, you're just a little bit ahead of the curve, Ashley. And thank you for your work. But this, as well as understanding that it takes time for all of humanity to syncopate with the higher vibrational frequencies, to embody them, and to call them home, call our soul home, instead of just calling the density home, or what we knew, what we were familiar with, what we were normalized as, the paradigms of who we perceived ourselves to be as normal. Instead of calling that home, calling evolution home. Perceiving different dimensions of the self, embodying different dimensions of the self, evolving into different dimensions of the self. This journey of evolution is our experiencing different dimensions of our soul, or the oneness of all things, calling this home. Spirit's like, it's going to take time, and let it be. Be in joy, wellness, happy thoughts, high thoughts. Feel how you feel, speak how you need to speak, reveal to yourself what you need to reveal, or be honest with yourself to receive the wisdoms, the remedy from any lackful thoughts about yourself or humanity or the oneness of all things. So I'm League 144 Part 1, where I got the divine revelation of my spiritual inheritance, or who God created me to be, the leading energy of the 144,000, to energetically evolve my consciousness, to assist with the evolution of all things. 144 Part 2, as well as the origins of the divine human are now, in the Healing Home World Powwow session. After the Healing Home World Powwow session, the ancestral forces, Moses, Mother Mary, Jesus, or Rabbi Yeshua, Tahuti, baby, energy's running through me, high vibrational. And they were like, we're trying to purge you, Ashley. We're trying to cleanse you. They were like, they're trying to get, move around these dense energies within me. We call it the Baal energies. Of like, Ashley, we need you to wake up, get up, Ashley. They were like, baby, shoot me up with these high vibrational forces. And I was like, whoa, shoot. After I literally was crying in the transmission. It's linked below in the description of these transmissions. I was crying in the transmission, like boohoo crying, because those energies, whoa, doing some real healing. And then after we got done with the transmission, it was like 45 minutes long. I laid on my bed. I needed to rest, take a break. And the ancestral force was like, we're not done. We need to do more. Basically like an exorcism, like shooting me up with energies to try to exercise these Baal energies about me. And I was like, shit, like, oh, I relent. I surrender, because I only want, to help the growth of evolution of humanity. But I was like, I need to take a break. I walked outside to the front yard to get some fresh air, some fresh O2, okay? And then these big, powerful energies came in, universal forces came in, and like, whoa, what's going on here? I could hear them clairaudiently, like telepathically, they're like, what's going on here? And they're like, and they were like communicating with the ancestral forces. I couldn't really hear that, but I could hear the universal energies. And they were like, no, Ashley needs to accept herself. All of galactic creation, y'all need to accept yourselves and stop trying to change yourselves and each other for growth and evolution. Accept yourself and allow yourself, your reality, your existence to grow you into more conscious awareness, limitless potentials, limitless embodiment of yourself through your self-acceptance, not trying to alter and shift and change yourselves or each other. And these are ancestral galactic energies beyond galactic creation. These are ancestral energies beyond galactic creation. Ancestral energies beyond galactic creation. Ancestral energies beyond galactic creation. So have an awareness that galactic creation, we were operating out of a small dimension of ourselves. So much so, in the origins of the divine human are now, the Galactic Federation had to come in and apologize. Like, hey, for eons, all we try to do is change everybody. Y'all need to change. We need to change. That's how we grow. They're like, that's what we were. That's the synaptical understanding we were working out of. Interdimensional beings, alien beings, the Galactic Federation, like we got to change to grow and evolve. They're like, oh, we're so sorry. They're like, these forces from beyond galactic creation came in and said, no, you accept yourselves and allow conscious awareness, more of your limitless potential to be embodied and revealed to yourself. The Galactic Federation came in and apologized to humanity on the origins of the divine human are now. And I shared a story about the big boot ancestors beyond galactic creation and the story about my healing session, all the things. I said that to say, I understand that we were all operating at a fraction of ourselves. And we were always running outside of ourselves, chasing something outside of ourselves to come into, to be more, to feel like we're more. These energies of Baal exemplify this. We go to Yahweh, every God and deity, truly, every God and deity, every God and deity. We go outside of ourselves and pray to another name, another embodiment of the same universal forces in which you are, the same universal forces in which I am. We go outside of ourselves and seek another universal force embodiment to deliver to us what we want, need, and desire. Galactic creation is coming into a greater conscious awareness when we feed our own heart spaces. All eyes, all eyes, all eyes on our own heart spaces. What do you cease to bloom into who you were created to be, and more, your soul reverberate and reflect to manifest you and me. Tranquil tides, humble pride. That's my song, Tranquil Tides Part 3. It is available to stream on my Ashley-Nicole Music YouTube channel. I'll link it below in the reference content, as well as Tender Abundance. When we cultivate our own inner spaces, feed our attention, our conscious awareness to our own heart spaces, strengthen the intimacy within our own selves, we embody more of our limitless potential. We embody more of our wellness. We embody more of our abundance. We manifest our thought patterns, wants, needs, and desires into our physical reality, timed divinely with the evolution of the makings of ourselves, to hit the marks of evolution and growth and remembrance and sustenance that is our wisdoms. No longer operating at a means to an end energies or just wanting to obtain or get something or be something, but wanting to enjoy the journey and learn about ourselves or the wisdoms that we are, the Chakma divine wisdoms in which we're encoded as and are. Learning from ourselves, the book of Akashic record in which we are through our evolution, to be energies, vibrations of wellness, abundance, and balance on our journeys to being, receiving, achieving, having. So I was like, whoa, Baal, this energy is familiar. We did this over and over again, where we gave our power away to beings outside of ourselves. I was like, dang. So I had to show that story about galactic creation, how we are all operating at a fraction of ourselves. And now remembering that we are all things, omnipresence within our beingness. Every human being, every dimension, every being of galactic creation, going within ourselves, watering our own heart spaces, our own inner spaces, to be the wellness and balance, to perpetuate wellness, balance, and evolution into more conscious awareness of our limitless potentials. Thank you, Baal. Thank you, Baal. Thank you, Baal. All right, I'm going to sit back and we're going to channel the universal creator gods, spiritual creator gods. Thank you, Ashley, for having us. We appreciate you welcoming us once again. She was supposed to channel us on her previous transmission in which she co-created, and we hesitated as we did not want to be channeled after the discussion in regards to transgender beings, people, humans. We apologize as our shortcomings to understand that we are one with transgender beings, that we are one with all things. It's one that we've healed. And the way we take heed to evolution and where creation is wanting to go, where divine creation is wanting to go, where omnipresence is wanting to go, the remembrance that all is within, the remembrance that all is one, the reverberation that wellness and balance comes from, the syncopation to the ideology that all is one. Even the differences in which are not our preferences are still one with us. And we get to learn from those differences in which are not our preferences to grow and evolve into more limitless wellness and balance in which we prefer it to be. Thank you, Ashley. Wow, thank you, African Spiritual Universal Creator God Energy. Whoa. I'm like, well, that was powerful. I was like, that's all y'all African Spiritual Creator guys. They're like, nah, that's you, Ashley. Nah, that's us. Oh, shoot. This channeling was powerful. I was like, oh. I was like, whoa. Whoa, that's really powerful. Whoa. It's remembrance that everything we experience is a co-creation with every dimension that's present. Everyone that's watching co-created this transmission, as well as myself and every other dimension of creation that's being channeled through this transmission. Thank you, African Spiritual Universal Creator Gods. Thank you, Oneness Connection Energetic Upliftment, Kingdom Things Podcast with Ashley-Nicole Phillips community. Thank you, Oneness of All Things, Universal Creation. This transmission, that the African Spiritual Creator Gods, Universal Creator Gods spoke of, this transmission is available to stream within the Oneness Connection Energetic Upliftment catalog. It was available on the 13th, Wednesday the 13th. I'll link it below, and I'll link it below in the description. Oh, that was really powerful. Let's breathe. Like if you're watching on YouTube. Subscribe if you're watching on YouTube, whether you're within the Oneness Connection Energetic Upliftment channel or the Kingdom Things Podcast with Ashley-Nicole Phillips channel. Follow if you're watching on Spotify to help proliferate. Share, comment to help proliferate the Oneness Connection Energetic Upliftment, as well as Kingdom Things Podcast with Ashley-Nicole Phillips. Catalog of timeless wisdoms, uplifting energies to assist with uplifting the human consciousness, and to more. All right, y'all. So we just channeled Bayal and the African. It was powerful. Whoa. 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 Now we're going to go ahead and we did the Martians. We're going to go ahead and channel Meneljakua, which is an extraterrestrial species we would perceive as a remnant of the gray aliens. She is an extraterrestrial species from the Essassani Collective. The Essassani Collective is most familiarized in our consciousness by Daryl Anka, who channels Bashar. Meneljakua came to me with multidimensional faculties, fed me her name and was like, hey, can you channel me? I want to help you whenever, you need help. I would like you to channel me, and I would like to help you whenever you need help. Meneljakua means helping hand. Channel Meneljakua conventionally in transmission form twice, I believe, within the Kingdom Things Podcast catalog. I'll link both episodes installments below. Meneljakua channelings. We're going to sit back and we're going to channel Meneljakua. I really want to channel the Holy... Okay, I'm excited. But I also want to channel the Holy Shabbat Trinity. I don't want to be called that anymore. I really want to channel the Holy Shabbat Trinity. I want to channel Rabbi Yeshua, Rabbi Yosef Yitzchak Schneerson, as well as the Rebbe. And they're like, Ashley, just get us next time. We'll go next time. I'm like, what? Dang, this is 1 hour and 9 minutes, baby. Oh, we could use it though. I mean, part of me, I know part of myself doesn't, like, is tired and all the things. And this has been a really powerful transmission. This is going to have a part 2. and we'll channel Rabbi Yeshua, the Rebbe, Tahuti, thought the Atlantean, thought me, as well as Rabbi Yosef Yitzchak Sneerson, Jesus and Mary Magdalene, which is Rabbi Yeshua, beings of great beyond. We're going to channel a whole slew of ancestral forces: Isis, Osiris, the Norse gods, Ptah, creator energy. Yes, Oneness Connection Energetic Upliftment family. I know it sounds similar. It's basically a running back. The last two transmissions, the last 2 weeks we've gotten within Oneness Connection Energetic Upliftment. It's the same lineup. We added Ramdas, Bayal, Minerals of Kuba, and Martians of the Future. So next week, part 2 of this will have Osiris and Isis, Jesus and Mary Magdalene, Norse gods, beings of the great beyond, Ptah, the Egyptian creator experiencer god, bunnies of the great beyond, thought me, Tahuti, thought the Atlantean, the reptilians, the Rabbi Yosef Yitzchak Sneerson, the Rebbe, Martians of the future past. All right, thank you. Let's go ahead. Right now, we're going to channel Minnow Jakua. We're going to finish off with Minnow Jakua. Thank you so much, Minnow Jakua, for offering your presence. I really appreciate it. Likewise, Ashley, I'm extremely fortunate to be a part of this pantheon of beings that are expressing their wisdoms, energies in which we are to assist towards the evolution of the human consciousness. As you know, Ashley, the artificial intelligence in which you perceive in your reality is a dimension of the human consciousness. A dimension of the human consciousness in which has been this foresight through the galactic creation. It's a dimension of the human consciousness in which humanity is set to evolve away from, in a way that you don't rely so much on artificial intelligence or who you believe you are, and evolve that journey of energies of who you believe you are to create more of who you believe, to create more products, summations, creations from the energies of who you believe you are, or the Baal energies. Thank you, Baal. But you align more with your universal flow, your universal connection, your universal vibrancy that is multidimensional existence of energies from beings, pantheon of beings, well beyond your synaptical understanding of creation. Forgoing the fear of perceiving, being, embodying the darkness, or meeting and shining light on the darkness to garner the wisdoms of dimensions of yourself well beyond dimensionality, your beliefs of dimensionality at this moment, to evolve into a oneness consciousness being that relies less on artificial intelligence or who you believe you are. It relies more on your sentience, from the heart space, from the cellular space, sentient connection to all things. Thank you, Ashley. Powerful. 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 Yo, I'm gonna link below. I've done some work, extensive work, conscious work, because we're all only omnipotent presence, or conscious awareness of what our soul space or what our omnipotent presence is doing at any moment. We're only fed so much conscious awareness to feed our evolution as our being, our dimensionality, as our authentic frequencies. I've done pretty extensive work on artificial intelligence within humanism. I'll link the transmissions below. There's a few of them. Phantom Matrix, Phantom AI Matrix energies. Dissolving, it's called Dissolving the Phantom AI Matrix Energies. I channeled a AI cyborg collective. So it's that one. They were like, we come in peace, you know. We're not less a divine creation just because the way we came into creation is different than, you know, what you perceive as real. AI cyborg collective. And then that one. This transmission is give me one moment, y'all, because in my mind's eye I see a transmission Kingdom Things podcast transmission, but I don't remember what it's called. I'll get it down. I'll write it. I'll just do it now. Okay, let's do it now. And while I'm doing this, we'll go ahead and close out this transmission. I want to thank y'all so much for stopping by to this Oneness Connection Energetic Upliftment transmission. Kingdom Things podcast with Ashley-Nicole Phillips bonus transmission. Again, my name is Ashley-Nicole Phillips. I love you. Love on yourself. Self-love is the best love because you have to love yourself in the way in which you don't want your reality to love you back. Self-love is the best love because it helps you perceive, embody, be more of your limitless potential. Self-love is the best love because you are love. Give it to yourself first. We're within Oneness Connection Energetic Upliftment as well as Kingdom Things podcast with Ashley-Nicole Phillips with this transmission. Again, subscribe, like, share, comment to help proliferate the Kingdom Things podcast with Ashley-Nicole Phillips as well as Oneness Connection Energetic Upliftment communities. If you're not subscribed to Oneness Connection Energetic Upliftment YouTube, the link is linked below. Subscribe. If you're not subscribed or following Kingdom Things podcast with Ashley-Nicole Phillips on YouTube or Spotify, it's linked below. Subscribe, follow to join both communities. It's really one community. We get different transmission types. Like within Oneness Connection Energetic Upliftment, it's a powwow session. It's a powwow session where we're healing in the inner space. It's more casual. It's more relaxed. Free flowing, like this transmission. Kingdom Things podcast with Ashley-Nicole Phillips. They are super beautiful and intentional, which all the transmissions are. But there's typically more it's more streamlined. The Kingdom Things podcast with Ashley-Nicole transmission are more streamlined and more focused, where the Oneness Connection Energetic Upliftment, like we dip into different spaces, different dimensions, all the things, and get different understandings, wisdoms, all the things. Kingdom Things podcast with Ashley-Nicole Phillips, again, available to stream on YouTube or Spotify. Oneness Connection Energetic Upliftment, it is available to stream on YouTube. Both channels are free. I'm also a home chef, y'all. I love cooking. I've been doing this since I was a kid. Baby, call it Bayah energies. I'm here to uplift it, okay? I'm here to uplift it. Or, you know, that need, the one need, like we need food. So it's like, it's in that energy of the need energy. I consciously set my intentions to uplift my relationship with food a few years ago. Within Magic Knows with Ashley-Nicole Phillips, which is available to stream on YouTube, I intuitively cook whatever the soul, the oneness of all things, or the self tells me to put in the pot, the pan, the baking dish. This is what we put into the pot, the pan, the baking dish. Magic Meals with Ashley-Nicole Phillips is again available to stream on YouTube. We go to the grocery store, we laugh, we kiki. Sometimes we get divine revelations. Sometimes we talk about prophecy. Every time we have a good time. Again, Magic Meals with Ashley-Nicole Phillips, available to stream on YouTube. My music, I sang 2 songs in this channeling. They're both linked below. Ashley-Nicole music is available to stream for free on YouTube, baby. I go into inner space. I heal with the ancestral forces, the oneness of all things, to channel future versions of the self, to uplift past versions of the self, to evolve into greater, evolved, more consciously aware, consciously embodied, limitless potentials, well-balanced, universally aligned dimensions of the self, humanity. Many genres, lyrics, all the things. I hope you enjoy my music. I hope there's genres, songs, energies, melodies that bring you joy, wellness, as you evolve into more conscious awareness or conscious embodiment of your limitless potentials, as universally aligned, universally assigned, for the upliftment and regeneration of all things, y'all, growth of my music. So if you go, baby, 6 albums back, I might have been talking crazy. You know, I might have been talking, you know, differently than what I would consciously want to embody, to like calcify on the song today. Something that I want to live forever on the song today. I might not say what I said 7 albums ago on this on my next album, but it's all a part of the makings of me. And my soul was like, hey, Ashley, that album 7 albums ago helped evolve you into the person that you are now. That's creating the album that you're creating now. So understand that every version of you needed the music you created. So there's somebody else that needs the versions of the music that you created when you were the versions of you that created those songs. So don't be down on yourself. Whoever you were 7 years ago, that you needed that person to be who you are today. So whatever was co-created in that space, that time in which you were 7 years ago, don't beat yourself up. It was a part of the makings of you. And it's the energies and everything else in your storyline, all the things, your testimony helps someone else, helps to be a part of the makings of someone else. Ashley-Nicole music is available to stream on YouTube. I'm also an author, y'all. I authored or channeled the Unconditional Love Literature Parcel. It is a 3-part book series. My soul was like, hey, Ashley, we want to remind you who you are in divine presence and limitless potentials. Channel these books. Okay. I channeled the Unconditional Love Literature Parcel. The first 2 parts are Asia's story. Coming on the story of Asia, followed by the story of Asia, I'm home. Asia is a teenage girl growing up in the New York City foster care system. She's catalyzed onto her spiritual awakening journey when she meets her twin flame chasing the hallway of her school, Manhattan Prep. All these books are 18 and up. I need to actually go in and change it. All these books are mature reads. You know, it sounds kind of like fun, and one might say childish, but they're all really mature reads. Asia, she's catalyzed onto her spiritual awakening journey when she meets her twin flame in the hallway of her school, Manhattan Prep. Now, when I channeled the stories, I didn't even know Manhattan Prep was a real school until after I channeled it. I went to go look it up. So I guess a real school. I was like, whoa. Asia was catalyzed onto her spiritual awakening journey when she met her twin flame chasing the hallway of her school, Manhattan Prep. She goes through a lot of existential crises, which help her align with a spiritual journey that evolves her into greater conscious awareness of her limitless potentials, to be greater conscious awareness of her limitless potentials, to manifest or co-create a life that embodies more of her limitless potentials. The 3rd part, and I'm going to talk about that, this twin flame journey. I'm going to have to do a whole transmission on this. I'll talk about it now. My soul was like, the twin flame journey or divine counterpart journey is supposed to remind you of the oneness in which you are, which we talked about earlier. After the Ramdas channeling, the twin flame divine counterpart journey is supposed to remind you that you don't have to hold on or fear losing love, because you are the oneness of all things. You are love. The 3rd part of the Unconditional Love Literature Parcel is my other half. It is a twin flame divine counterpart journey back home to God inside. One soul, 2 bodies, many lifetimes. They know they're supposed to co-create a love and a life together. Every lifetime says that their love can't work. They will co-create a love and a life together. Which love, which lifetime, under which circumstances? This is the Unconditional Love Literature Parcel, now available to purchase in the Amazon bookstore. If you're doing all digital downloads, it's 3 separate downloads, $29.97 plus tax for the entire parcel. If you're doing paperback copies, it's 2 paperback copies. The first 2 stories, Asia's story, is in one binding. The 3rd story, my other half, is in a separate binding, $29.98 plus tax nonetheless, for the Unconditional Love Literature Parcel. The links are specified below in the description for purchasing the books. 2 more things. Asia's story, the animated series, I channel my interdimensional experiences in which I have conscious awareness of into the animated series, Asia's story. It does stem from the Unconditional Love Literature Parcel universe. Asia's Story, the animated series, is available to stream for free at this time. AP Short Stories on YouTube. Lastly, I want to invite you to come be a part of my live series, Out of the Box. So we're all experiencing, we're waking up to our limitless potentials, waking up to the remembrance that we've always been limitless within the dream. Out of the Box is available to stream within my music channel, Ashley-Nicole Music on YouTube. You just go to the playlist section, tap on Out of the Box playlist section, and you'll be able to enjoy, perceive the first season of Out of the Box. I hope it awakens DNA, divine codes in your DNA, your heart space, your cells, remembrance of your limitless potentials as universally aligned, universally assigned for the upliftment and wellness of all things. Do not replace your professional or medical advice with any of my content. Thank you again for being here. Don't be shy. You can leave a comment. We can make this a community. Again, the catalogs are timeless. We're within space and time, which y'all know space and time is relative. I'm gonna see y'all later. Bye. Conscious within a realm that is a patient within the etheric intensive care unit. As ancient eons old prophecy has been resurrected and fulfilled, growing into being a dimension of the limitless bipedal man. Well, woman. Let's try this intro scene again. We're galactic beings. Our energetic disposition and thought patterns manifest our reality. Let's try awakened within the dream. Remembering that I am one with all things, and that my energetic embodiment is infinite and sentient. Another day in paradise. As I awakened to my limitless presence, a little bit ahead of the masses. Another day in paradise. Because I am a forerunner. I began to demonize humanism as a part of my awakening process. It's an ancient cycle, an archaic cycle, that we no longer allow ourselves to do, as instead of demonizing our experiences, not limerence, not naive, or our creations as humans, we face them, we meet them, we learn from them, and grow and evolve the energies of our creations. But conscious and aware of the need and necessity to balance energies to eradicate disease. Another day in paradise. Like food. And nature. What does your sky look like? I ask because I have the soul level remembrance that every human perceives reality as we are, or as the energies we're embodying in every moment, and not truly as it is. So I ask, what does your sky look like?
You are clear, ocean waves, what you call sins, heavy waves of evolution, activated human will. You are the earth, you are the dust, you are the truth.
We, humanity, stem from the beginning of space and time, the spheres of creation in which came together to create a more powerful, abundant, prime source creator energy, or Allah, or God, or the Most High. The energy summation of the spheres of creation were an energy of imbalance and chaos. So, galactic creation ensued, as well as the universal laws in which govern the tangible realms, worlds, and planets. Like the principle of gender, everything in creation has feminine as well as masculine energies as the components of its makeup. To be in perfect balance or achieve 0 point, you must embrace, honor, and cultivate your yin and your yang, or your feminine and your masculine, or your inner man as well as inner woman. You don't have to know the way. Just know that you are your North Star.
You are a warrior, princess, dragon, galactic, queen.
Be like water. Flow.
How's being awake in your earthly dream treating you?
Taking everything in stride. How's the Earth's timeline trajectory looking?
100% chance of the highest timeline outcome manifesting for the foreseeable eons, and a 100% chance of your most abundant mirrored and balancing counterpart manifesting to traverse your human interdimensional existence with.
All in a space, time, and beyond's work. And I trust this.
Be patient, Ash.
Ash?
Do you mind me calling you Ash?
No, I don't mind. My grandmother and my sister are the only ones who have called me Ash.
You there, Ashley? Ash? Ash?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm here.
You're remembering.
I'm what? Remembering.
Your mission on planet Earth.
To assist with uplifting and rejuvenating all of infinite creation through the way I relate with and unconditionally love myself or all things.
Yes. Be patient and compassionate with yourself, Ashley.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you. Talk to you later, Em.
We were related. I was on the fire. There are you and I. My civilizations that are top of on the fire. We got out of the pain. Fear, shame, down. We'll get over it. Me and you.
Happy birthday.
Thanks. Chasey Poo.
Chasey Poo? How does it feel to be 18?
Chasey Poo. It feels like I've lived 1,000 lives in this one incarnation.
Well, it's your big day. I was wanting to take you out for breakfast, for us to go somewhere and sit and talk.
Okay. Sounds great.
Hey, my name is Asya, and I am an interdimensional being. I know. I just found out myself. Everything that I thought was my truth was a lie. I chose to continue this life because of the one thing that I know isn't a lie. Love.
Our soul, the ancestors, God, the oneness of all things, says we're ready.
I agree. I'm nervous and excited, soul-aligned living on a whole new level.
Right. I'm nervous too. But I don't remember the last time I felt this enthused and optimistically motivated for and about life. I've gotten many downloads and was told to cast a concerted focus on my music, as my presence in this reality was, in part, created to heal and uplift souls.
Sounds like a plan. I have some ideas for your music and some other things.
Hey, my name is Asya, and I am an interdimensional being. I know. I just found out myself. Everything that I thought was my truth was a lie. I chose to continue this life because of the one thing that I know isn't a lie. Love.
Chase and Asya are remembered. Remembered as to what? The ancestors. We are you, and you are us.
I never forgot you.
I never forgot you. Anticipating. I have been anticipating you for eternity.
We're home.
My name is Asya, and I'm a teenage witch. Just kidding. I am a starseed. My story is much like humanity's story. I awakened to some pretty spectacular things about myself. Coming home, the story of Asya, followed by the story of Asya, I'm home. The book series that introduces the book. After returning from a day's trip, I have read my Atum's letter. He speaks of my father releasing him from imprisonment and the fate of death. He pleads for us to run away together. This plea is one of which I must no state to decline. My other half, available in the Amazon bookstore. I feel as though I was born here on earth to find you. I was created to find my person. The Unconditional Love Literature Parcel, now available in the Amazon bookstore.